So we're about to have a baby. Yeah. Hey y'all, it's Shay with the House of Henry, and I wanted to come by and share my labor and delivery story of my first baby, Jael. At that time, I wasn't officially vlogging, so we were able to capture some footage of the day and the event itself, but it's not like I would do it now where it would show the entire journey process. So I wasn't officially vlogging, but I did capture enough to kind of want to share. I was due with Jael on September 21st, and she was 21 days early. I had her on August 31st, 2013. I wasn't mentally ready to deliver a baby. We weren't even in September yet, so I thought I had plenty of time and to kind of get into the woo style of everything. As a first-time mom, you have no idea what to expect. You know, it's horrifying. It's just, the unknown is horrifying. So I actually went to work on August 30th, and I was scheduled to go back on the 31st. Here's a picture of here's a picture that I actually took on the 30th of August. So the very next day, I woke up to get ready for work. My husband was working the overnight shift, so he wasn't home at that time. So I actually wasn't going to see him until I got home later that day. So I got home, so I woke up ready for work, and then it just felt like I had to use the bathroom. So I went to use the bathroom. Not too much happened, but then after that, it felt like I had to use the bathroom again. So it was just a real strange feeling. Still, it wasn't a painful feeling. It just felt like I had to use the bathroom. You know, so I called my mom and I called one of my good friends, and they were like, sounds like you're in labor. I'm like, no, that can't be. It's way early, and plus it doesn't even hurt, you know. Labor hurts, you know. So, and my water hasn't broken or anything. So I was like in total denial. So I wound up having my first contraction at about 8:30 that morning. I woke up at about 7:30, so an hour had gone by. And I was in pre-labor but didn't even know it. So I had my first real contraction at 8:30, and I was like, yikes, something's going on. My husband got home at about 9, and when he actually got home, I had already had about 3 or 4 contractions, and that's only about 30 minutes time. So when he got home, you know, I was like, hey, I think we need to go to the hospital. So I still was like unsure, and when we moved away from where, you know, when we first got pregnant, we were living much closer to the hospital. So when we moved away, now it's more like a 30-40 minute drive to the hospital. So he was like, are you sure? Because I don't really want to go out there just for nothing. And then like right before his eyes, I had a contraction, like just leaning against the counter in the kitchen. And he's standing there freaked out totally. He's like, okay, let's go. At this point, I didn't even have a bag packed. I didn't have anything ready to go, because like I said, this was 21 days before my due date. So we're in a car, and like I said, the car ride is about 30 to 35 minutes. And in that time, I had about 7 contractions. This was happening, and I just remember thinking, wait a minute, what about the 30 minutes apart thing, and a 10 minutes apart thing, and a 5 minutes apart thing? Like, it just felt to me that I skipped all that, and it was happening really, really quickly. So fast forward to being admitted, and my doctor came in, she examined me, and she actually gave it a title of what I was experiencing. She called it, well, she didn't call it that, but the name of it is a precipitous labor. And that's defined as a labor that's just happened abnormally quicker, typically less than 4 hours from first contraction to delivery. So I had never heard of this type of labor, and I didn't know what, you know, to expect. I just know that I was having contractions what seemed like back to back, and the intensity just kept on getting more and more intense. Like I couldn't imagine it. I had all intentions of having a fully natural birth. So here is some footage of a contraction. Oh, that's painful. Barely, I'm like about to throw up and stuff. Yeah, right. That was pretty intense. And in my mind, not really knowing what precipitous labor is, or not really knowing if that's what was going on, because she wasn't sure. You know, you're not really sure until the actual delivery to see how long everything was, but that's just the word that had come out of her mouth at that point. So I'm like, wait, people are in labor for like 10-12 hours. How can I possibly deal with this type of, you know, intense pain and, you know, for the next 10-12 hours? I mean, it was so intense that I was vomiting after every contraction. It was insane. So, like I said, they were less than 5 minutes apart. I didn't have, normally I think you have time to breathe and recover and just, you know, prepare yourself for the next contraction, but literally I felt like I had no time to prepare for the next contraction. So that there was a point where I was just like, that's it. Give me that magic juice. So here's the footage of the magic juice.
You're gonna be fine. You'll be surprised how many people say
Man, we should wait till the next contraction.
come on, boo. Come back.
Shay, I know it hurts, sweetheart. You're doing so
I just don't want to move.
You won't. I won't let you. I won't let you move. I'm gonna hug you tight and hold you still, okay? And then Dad's there is gonna let you squeeze the heck out of his fingers. And we're gonna do it together. We're gonna do this.
Everybody got to step out.
Oh yeah, I forget you guys. Let Dad stay here. I'm sorry, I forgot. I forgot. You have to leave. They don't let Dad stay in here for this here. I go to too many places and work. I'll take rolls of each one.
Wait a minute, here's one.
Okay, you can move to this one. He hasn't started anything yet.
I'm going to work around you. I'm Dr. Chury with anesthesia. I'm going to work around your contractions, okay? It's going to feel like that IV just in your lower back. It's really not nearly as bad as most people
Stand right outside
expect.
the door for just a few minutes. told you it should be fun.
That's what everywhere I've been, it's been every 1 hour.
So, she's 37 years. Who keeps asking, well, why don't you just do an epidural? I said, well, initially she wasn't changed.
They just called her two. Her doctor just called her two.
Well done, okay?
Okay. She needs more stay off.
Relax.
Okay. Thank you.
Well done.
See? It wasn't that bad now, was it?
So after the magic juice, I actually I got the epidural at about 12:30 and I had her an hour later. So my entire delivery, labor and delivery, lasted 5 hours. So that is considered on the borderline of a precipitous labor, especially for a first-time mother to deliver that quickly. It was just it was unexpected. I was totally unprepared for that type of experience. I had gone those first 4 hours without any medical intervention, without any pain management, but then that final hour I just was you know, doubting the whole thing and questioning, would I physically be able to go another 4 hours in this situation? And you know, just thinking that it was going to last much longer than it did, I opted for the epidural, and it was just an hour later. So I was like almost there, y'all. I was almost there. So I was so disappointed, but everything turned out great. She was healthy. She was 4 pounds and 12 ounces when she was born. Here are some cute little first shots of her and a video.
Aww.
You sound a little mucusy. Let me get on that side, Dad. You switch with me.
No problem, man.
So yeah, that was my labor and delivery story with my first child, Jael. And I really wanted to just share that with you, especially first-time moms who never heard of having a precipitous labor. Definitely look up some information on it, because I wouldn't want anyone else to be caught off guard and be in that situation and have no clue what's going on. It only happens in a small percentage of women. I just happen to be in that number. But if I had been more educated on it, I feel that I would have been more, of course, prepared to handle that type of situation. So thank you for tuning in and listening to our story. We are excited about baby number 2 in January, and I look forward to sharing that with you as well. I'm Shay with The House of Henry. Thanks for watching. Bye.